What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing something to the STI that is actually not power related like we have been doing, and I have the new turbo locations in there too, so I'll show you guys that. If you really don't care about that, skip ahead when I get to that point. But this is actually a head unit, because I'm still using the stock Subaru Starlink head unit, which is okay. If we're being honest, it's not the greatest, it's not the worst out there. It has some bugs, we'll just say that. My STI is a 2017 STI Limited. While the engine may not be from an STI anymore, the rest of the car is. So I have the Harmon Kardon sound system installed in the car from the factory. So it's got the subwoofer, it's got all the Harmon Kardon speakers, everything like that. Now, when it comes to head units for V8 chassis Subarus, which is 2015 to 2021 WRXs and STIs, there's really only one go-to option for head units. That's Idoing. Like I said, if you're looking at installing any head unit in your Subaru, this is the go-to kit that you're going to want to get. It actually has the whole surround for the head unit. The quality on it is a lot better than I was expecting, so kudos Idoing. And thank you to WRX Daily on Instagram for sending this over. If you guys are interested in getting one of these kits, I'll put his Instagram and his website down below in the description so you guys can snag one of these from him. They make these for a lot of cars, not just Subarus, Mitsubishis, Nissans, Subaru, you name it, they probably make it for it. Now, this specific kit has a lot of options that we're not going to be using all of them. If you want, you can definitely do so. You have a 4G antenna, so you can have actual like internet access on your head unit. For this car, I don't need internet access. I've got enough signals and wires and everything shoved back behind that dash where we're not going to be using this, but it's only 2 wires if you do want to plug it in. The microphone, I'm not going to be using that either, because even if I try to make a phone call in this car, it's just not going to work. Now, one thing with these newer cars when it comes to doing head units like this is that OEM Subaru Starlink head unit right there. That integrates into the CAN bus system in the car. If you guys have been around the channel for a while, you know we fought CAN bus on this car time after time after time. So with this kit, you have one of these CAN bus decoders to keep the car happy. You do not want to go swapping head units like a Sony, JBL, whatever it is you're going to be putting in there, and not have something to be able to pick up the CAN bus signal. Don't mind my interior, it's already kind of torn apart from some other stuff I was doing, so don't pay any attention to that. So with this stock Starlink head unit, it's not terrible. My start button of my fuel pump's disconnected, I think. Something, oh, my I have a whole bunch of stuff disconnected up. They're not going to worry about it. This powers up, which is really all I care about at the moment. Hang on, let me let it go through its reset procedure because I had the battery disconnected for a while. Starlink! I agree. So, like I said, this head unit's not terrible. It's not the best, it's not the worst out there. The screen is a little bit small. It does feel a little bit outdated. For a 2017 like mine, there is no Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, which is a little bit annoying. If I go to apps, I have, what, Starlink, MirrorLink, Pandora, and AHA. Do people even still use AHA? I've never used AHA a day in my life. This one does have GPS built in. You don't need to know where it lives, so we're just gonna zoom. Oh, you can't even see it. Mine does have GPS built in. I never use it. It kind of sucks. Phone integration, all that kind of crap right in there. So with this head unit, it's not terrible to remove them. We are gonna have to remove the center shifter console area. This glove box, we're gonna have to move it all back out of the way and take off these kick panels down here because there's two 10mm screws that hold in the bottom of this complete piece down a little bit lower. The climate controls are integrated into this unit here, so it is all going to come out as a single piece. We're gonna have to take off this top piece here to be able to get to the screws back behind this thing. So let's start disassembling this guy, getting it unplugged, and then we'll start playing with our Idoing to get the Idoing installed, start running all the wires for it. I mean, there's a lot of wires, but if I can wire a full car, we can easily figure this out. So let's start disassembling this. The first thing that we're gonna have to do is get out this top piece. Come in between the radio and this guy, or you can go in between the dash and this guy and kind of pry up on that, pop this guy out, and there's gonna be 2 wires behind there. Right there and right there. Might wanna be a little bit more gentle than me. Slide that guy through, that button back in. So we've got that top portion out right there. I'm gonna move these wires kind of out of the way. There's gonna be 2 10mm bolts up top up here. I'm gonna go ahead, undo these. I like to use my hand to get them all the way out because I like to drop bolts. And when I drop bolts, they're gone forever. Boom! Both of those guys are out of there. So to show you guys, right up here, there's 1 10 right there. The other 10's right there. Now to disassemble all of this, if you open up your center console, that's my registration, we don't need that. There's 2 10mm screws down in here. which is very dark, so you're not going to see them. Once you get those two out, you pop this e-brake boot right off, undo your shift knob, this whole panel will pop out, and then there's a Phillips head screw right about here. We're going to undo that so that way we can take off these side kick panels to be able to get to the lower screws that hold that guy in. So let me disassemble this so we can get that guy out. Should just unscrew like any shift knob. I don't know what shift knob you got. This e-brake cover boot, if you grab it right here at the base, just pull up on it, it'll pop right off. I like to just pull them up all the way. And then right under that, there's a Phillips head screw. You literally cannot miss it. Like I said, don't lose any of these in the abyss of your car, because you'll never get them back. 210s in the center console. All right, so now that we have the 2 screws in the center console out and the screw underneath of the e-brake boot, we can just pick up on this guy and literally just slide it into the back seat. Now for the center console shift trim, I like to pull the boot up and over the reverse lockout, which is the lower black ring on the shifter assembly. Just pull it all the way up as high as you can. Grab it like right here and just pull back on it like that. It'll pop right out. And then you can lift it up and slide it out of the way. So now we're left with the center console. There's those 2 Phillips head screws underneath there, like I said. There's 2 more up here. And then there may be 1 down there. I don't know, we're gonna find out. So now these 2 pieces can unclip from one another like so. And then they should be able to just, yep, slide right out. You will probably have a clip down here. I definitely do not. Now that our clip's out, this piece can come out. Put you in the back seat also. JK, I totally lied, you gotta take the glove box out too. I have way more stuff in my glove box, so don't pay any attention to what you see. I gotta take you out. So, like I said, I got a lot more stuff in my glove box. Pay no mind to mine. Normally you'll have a plunger right here. You can just pop that plunger off the side of the glove box, and then you just squeeze both into the glove box together, and it should slide right out. Should, being the key word. The glove box is free. Now from here, you're gonna have to take out the glove box also, which is a whole bunch of Phillips head screws going literally everywhere. This trim panel piece, you can literally grab it on the side and just pop it right off like that. I think there's 9 of these Phillips head screws in here that we're gonna have to take out to be able to get this glove box out. 5, okay, I don't know why I'm not taking them out as I'm going past them. I'm just saying how many there are. And I'll show you guys these screw locations after I get this thing undone, so that way you guys can see and have a visual representation. This guy's shalom right out of there. I don't think I have a 10. Oh, nope, I do have a 10 on the side. I can see it. Lovely. All right, these are gonna be very difficult to show you guys, but right back up there. See that 10 mil right in the middle of the screen? There's 1 on this side and 1 on the other side. You have to take those 2 out. They are a pain in the butthole to get in and out of there, especially for me because I have a lot of wiring back there. So we're gonna pop those 2 guys out. For the glove box locations, you've got a screw here, you've got 1 here, right up there, right here in the middle, on that side, right here, and then 1 down there on the bottom. And then your glove box will just pull out. You can just set it down like that. So, well, okay, let me get these 2 10 mils out without wanting to throw my car in the ocean, because those things can be quite annoying to get to. All right, where did I put the 10? Where did I put literally any of the tools? Oh no. Now on the bright side, if you do drop it, these are just M6 by 1 screws. So you can pick them up at like your local hardware store, anything like that. So let's get the one out on the other side, and then our, oh yeah, you can already see it wants to come out. Then our radio should come out nice and free. Nice and free, nice and free. I'm probably really close to the camera right now, aren't I? Hello, how are you? I hope you're having a good day. Let me get that other side. Okay, that really wasn't too bad at all. Now, before we just jump straight into this Idoing one, we need to pull off our climate control stuff off of our stock head unit, as well as the mounting brackets for the side of it. So, come down here. For the mounting brackets, actually we'll do the mounting brackets first. There's just 6 screws that go all the way across this thing. All right, so we got off the 4 screws for the climate control. We'll swap that over to the Idoing, spin this around, and tighten down those 4. And then we have our climate control swapped over. It's kind of nice that they give you a wiring schematic on here. I'm sure there's instructions in that Idoing box, or like digital ones. I'm just not going to use them, because that's what I do. I just don't use instructions. Alright, you guys, it's the next morning. I started that install like 9 o'clock last night, and then I got hungry, and then after I ate, I just didn't want to come back out. So we're out here the next morning. I do have the head unit in the car. The wiring, I was way overthinking it. I only used one or two of the wires that it actually came with. Boost and Shutter has a really good walkthrough on what wires to use and what not to use depending on your setup, so I'll link his video down below also. I ran through his and it made life 1,000 times easier, but let me show you all the wires I didn't use because there's a lot of them. Like I said, there's a lot of wires I didn't use. I did not use the microphone, mainly because I don't want more wires in the car. I did not use this cable. This is just for like accessory stuff if you're wiring it in, because the head unit that's provided in there is made for like multiple different cars. So I didn't end up using this one with the little yellow connector there. I did not use this one because I don't need all of these inputs. All those inputs go through the stock wiring harness that plugs directly into the head unit. I did not run the 4G harness because I'm not running 4G. I did not use the dual USB slot. So they give you a dual USB slot one and a single. The single one is what you're going to use for Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. This is for like USB sticks or things of that nature. Didn't use that. I don't know why they give you this. Didn't use that. Maybe it's for like a bass knob. I did not use the SIM card slot. This is for a SIM card, and I did not use the GPS. If you are going to run the GPS and the 4G antenna, you need to put those in spots that are going to be visible for direct line of sight. So like GPS antenna is gonna have to go on the dash, 4G somewhere close to the dash so that way it can get signal. But that's all the stuff I didn't use. You also need to pull off the vents from this stock piece and the two buttons and transfer them over. It's just 4 little clips. They pop out incredibly easy. And then the telemetrics unit that sits on the bottom of this guy here just needs to get swapped over to the brackets and then put in the car with the new head unit. So I've got my interior still pretty disassembled. We're about to reassemble that, but the head unit is in. So let me run through and reassemble this stuff. The reassembly process for this is going to be the exact same as the disassembly. We're going to do the little side pieces, the shifter trim, the center console, and then the glove box, and get everything else reassembled. Then I already had all this stuff out, so I'm going to put all this bottom trim stuff back in. And then I'll show you guys this head unit because it is actually way better. Like if you have a Subaru and you don't have an aftermarket head unit, get rid of your stock Starlink one and get this. It is so worth it. Okay, this thing is sick with the interior I'll put back together. It looks so good in here. For the USB cable, I already had a hole down in this bottom cubby from when I was on airbags and my controller was in here, so I just ran my USB cable through that. However, if you want, there is an attachment for this head unit, so that way you can still utilize the stock USB ports in the center console here. So if you do want that, I will link it down below, but check this out. This thing is neat. So I have mine hooked up to Wi-Fi right now, and if you do decide to do the 4G stuff, you can have internet whenever you want. It's kind of cool. So like if I'm just looking at it, I'm on YouTube right now. I could just go to one of my own videos and watch my own ad. Hold up. Like this is cool. You can do full screen. You watch YouTube videos in your car. You can connect to the internet and go on like Safari, do all that stuff if you want to. What a good intro. God, whoever this dude is, he did a phenomenal job with that video. Look at that. Look at that quality right there. Where's the drop? Oh! Anyways, let me get off YouTube. How do there's a back button. This is very Samsung oriented for how the UI works in this. So if you have an iPhone, this may take a little bit of getting used to for you, but it's really not bad. For the Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, I obviously have an Android, so this is nothing new to me. Let me put on some royalty-free, actually, hold up. And I just tossed on some royalty-free music just to show you guys. So I have the Harmon Kardon sound system in the car, as you guys can see from the factory. So honestly, it sounds so good. Ticking for hours. Gotta waste no time, gotta wait in line in the weather so cold. Should've brought my coat at the end of the line on my shit untold. Messed up a line, used to be waiting for something or someone to give me my hope that they notice and give us a shot. I swear I be team, be lying a lot. My deep in my head, but no more bank account. Really not bad. I'd say it's 10 out of 10, especially with the Harmon Kardon unit, dude. It is minty fresh. I'd give sound on this thing like a 9 out of 10. With the Idoing Headunit, the Harmon Kardon sound system, and we only had it up to like 15 out of 30 on volume. I got a text from my neighbor who's like, are you partying over there? You loud over there? What's going on? So honestly, dude, it sounds crisp, it looks good. The navigation features, I mean, it's Android Auto, so it's Google Maps, so you know it's going to work well. I've never been a huge fan of Apple Maps just because they direct you in some weird, stupid ways. But if you do go the route of having that 4G antenna hooked up in the car, you can have internet access with a SIM card. You'll obviously have to pay for the service through Verizon, AT&T, whoever your service provider is, to be able to utilize that full internet access wherever you go. But I mean, that's awesome. That's awesome that you can be able to do that. Now, fit and finish on here, I would put it at like honestly, like a 10 out of 10. Everything fits perfect. It would fit a little bit better if I didn't have all my wires for my standalone going behind the radio and everything like that to be able to go over to my dash and whatnot. So for a stock application or stock car like most of you guys are gonna have, this thing's gonna fit 10 out of 10 for you. For me, it was just a little bit of a struggle to be able to get it to fully seat in there. But once I got it to seat in there, it worked beautifully. And then like you can go over here, you go over to like YouTube Music. This thing will walk you through everything and it'll still retain all of your like Google Maps instructions over on the right side. Dude, this thing's, and like, it looks super crisp. Now, the only downside with this head unit that I don't like, but you're not gonna get this with pretty much any head unit out there, is fast charging with your phone. It's nice to be able to have a fast charger in your car if you do have access to one. Obviously, a head unit, for the most part, unless you're buying a very, 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 very expensive one, just isn't gonna give you fast charging for your phone. But for the price of this, around like 450 bucks, it fits beautifully, and it retains a lot. It retains all of the stock features and just moves it all into one bezel, so you have less bezel lines or dash panel pieces, as you could call them, since it integrates in this top vent portion up here with the hazard button and the MFD controller. So dude, I love it. Once again, if you guys are looking for one of these, down below I'll link these over at WRX Daily's website. Super cool, dude, super quick shipping on stuff. Highly recommend it. If you were looking for any aftermarket head unit for a Subaru or for any other car that Idoing supports, I would 10 out of 10 suggest getting one. The interface does take a little bit to get used to. It took me about 5 minutes to be able to figure out and navigate the menus. It gives you full control over all of the sound stuff in the car if you want to do that as well. I like it. Now, if you are going to be ordering one of these radios, keep in mind that you need to order the appropriate one for your car. If you have a specialty sound system like Harmon Kardon, Rockford Fosgate, any of that type of stuff, OEM from factory, you are going to need to make sure you order the right one. If you do not have like a factory or like an upgraded OEM Plus speaker setup, they will offer a different model. With ours, we had to run the CAN bus controller into the back of the radio to be able to get the Harmon Kardon to work. If you do not have that controller and you have Harmon Kardon, you will not be able to hear anything out of your speaker, so keep that in mind. But that's all I got for you guys on this one. Awesome radio install. I actually love that thing. I'm always very picky when it comes to aftermarket head units and such. When OEM does have such a good fit, it's hard to find a comparable option out there on the aftermarket side, and Idoing did a fantastic job with theirs. So that is all I have for you guys on this one. If you like the video, if this video has swayed you to get an Idoing head unit, like I said, they are linked down below. And go ahead and like the video. If this video helped you or convinced you, hit the like button. If you're not already subscribed and you want to be, not just for the head unit, because the head unit was awesome, but maybe for our awesome engine swap, one of these corners, no idea which one I'll put it in quite yet, but with that, I will catch you guys in the next one. So peace out, homies.